The movie begins as literature professor Claire Peterson confides in her best friend, vice principal Vicky Lansing, that she's considering getting a divorce from her husband, software engineer Gareth Peterson, as she found out he has been cheating on her with his secretary. Vicky is furious on behalf of her best friend and urges her to go ahead with the divorce as soon as possible, as it's not healthy to continue in a toxic relationship. Gareth deeply apologizes for his transgressions and asks Claire to give him another chance. Claire couldn't get past it yet, and she and Gareth get separated. A few weeks later, Claire bakes a cake for her teenage son, Kevin's birthday, and invites Gareth for dinner, hoping to put their problems aside and come together for the sake of their son. During the dinner, Gareth proposes to go fishing as a family the coming Labor Day weekend. Kevin begs his mom to accept the offer, hoping to see his family reunited. Claire doesn't feel comfortable about it and pulls out of the plan, suggesting it should be a guy's trip. The next day, as Claire rushes to take Kevin to the doctor to refill his allergy injection, the garage door jams and blocks her car in. As Claire tries to manually rig the garage door, a handsome young man comes to her rescue and manages to get it opened. The young man introduces himself as Noah Sandborn and explains that he has just moved in next door with his ailing uncle to take care of him. The uncle comes to greet his neighbors and shares with Claire that he's the only family Noah has. Claire thanks Noah and proceeds to leave, but Noah offers to fix the door and asks Kevin to join him in going to the store to get the necessary items needed. Kevin joins him. On their way, Noah shares that he's new in town and that even though he's almost 20, he will be going to the local high school, where Kevin learns. Kevin promises to show him around town and the two bond. At the store, Kevin tells Noah about his crush Allie Callahan, who works at the cash register and goes to his high school. Kevin shares how much he likes her and that he's too afraid to talk to her. Noah encourages him to step up and approach her. Kevin complies and engages Allie in small talk while he pays the bill. This moment is interrupted by a group of boys led by Jason Zimmer, who come in and bully Kevin. Kevin tolerates this and returns home with Noah, who immediately gets to work fixing the door. Claire thanks him dearly. That night, Claire watches Noah get out of the shower through her bedroom window and develops a secret crush. She keeps this to herself and tries to shake it off. Kevin and Noah develop a friendship, and Noah shows the young teenager how to fix cars. Then Noah's uncle is admitted to the hospital for surgery, which leaves Noah alone. One day, Noah joins Kevin for dinner and meets Vicky. During the dinner, Noah and Claire bond over their shared love of classical literature, and Claire invites Noah to regularly join them for dinner until his uncle returns. Then Labor weekend comes and Kevin sets off to go fishing with Gareth. Vicky sets Claire up on a blind date with a man named Benny and joins the date with her boyfriend Ethan. The date goes horribly as Benny comes off as a bit sexist, and he and Claire couldn't agree on a single topic of discussion. Claire leaves the date early and returns home to relax. Then Noah calls her and asks her to help him make dinner. Claire goes over to his place and helps him out. As they sit down to enjoy what they cooked, Noah flirts with Claire and comes on to her. Claire is alarmed and proceeds to leave. Noah persuades her to stay and seduces her to spend the night with him. The next morning, Claire wakes up on Noah's couch, freaking out about what happened the night before, while Noah is quite happy about it and tries to convince her that it meant a lot to him. However, Claire insists that it was a mistake and that she was too vulnerable to think straight. Noah is enraged to hear her describe the night like that and violently punches the wall, which shocks and terrifies Claire. Claire calms Noah down, tells him that last night could never happen again, and goes to her home to wait for Kevin and Garrett to return from their trip. A few moments later, Kevin returns home with his father, gloating about the number of fish they caught. Claire tries to control the regret and confusion in her head and welcomes her family home. Gareth tells her that he wishes she was there and once again begs her to give him a chance. Noah then comes over, introduces himself to Gareth, and hangs out with the family, throwing subtle and inappropriate innuendos that annoy and terrify Claire. School starts the next day. As Claire welcomes her students, the school principal, Principal Edward Warren, comes and announces that he has approved her request to transfer Noah to her literature class. Bewildered, Claire follows the principal out of class and asks him what he's talking about. Claire is shocked again, as the principal produces a copy of an email sent from her account asking to have Noah in her class. Later that day, Claire tried to find out who could have accessed her account as she never sent that email to the principal. In the evening, Gareth joins Claire and Kevin for dinner, which excites Kevin beyond belief. After dinner, Gareth begs Claire to pause her divorce thoughts so that they can work towards healing their relationship and she agrees. The next day, Noah follows Claire as she drives from school to her home, which creeps her out. A few days later, Noah takes Kevin to target practice, using his uncle's old guns. During the practice, Noah subtly starts to change Kevin's attitude toward Gareth negatively. Noah spends the whole afternoon telling Kevin how Gareth was selfish to break apart the family, and how much he hurt Claire by making her feel like she's nothing. That night, Gareth joins them for dinner. Kevin is very hostile towards Gareth, and knowing it would hurt his father, Kevin tells him that he's dropped the IT software class and has taken up boxing. The next day, Noah trains Kevin in boxing and fills him up with more negative thoughts about Gareth. A few days later, Claire receives a flower bouquet with a card, asking her for a second chance. She calls Gareth to thank him for the flowers, but is shocked to realize that Gareth knows nothing of it. Claire then searches for Noah and finds him at the school gym. She approaches him and scolds him for making irresponsible choices that could have grave effects. Their heated interaction is seen by a teacher, who reports it to the principal. After the argument, Claire pleads with Noah to drop everything and start over, and he agrees. Kevin asks Allie out, and the two decide to go to the fall dance together. A few weeks later, Gareth and Claire go to the movies together, and Gareth drives Claire home. Then he follows her in and asks to stay there overnight, on the couch, as he's too tired to drive. Claire agrees and allows Gareth to sleep over. Noah sees Gareth's car parked outside Claire's house late at night and loses his mind, thinking the worst. The next morning, after Gareth leaves for work, Noah verbally assaults Claire and declares war on her. Kevin steps out of the house to go to school and gets in a fight with Claire when she tells him to stay away from Noah. At school, as Jason approaches Kevin, belittling and insulting him, Noah steps in and beats Jason so severely that Jason requires hospitalization. Vicky calls Noah over to her office and tells him that after his violent outburst, she called his old school to get his transcripts and was told that he was expelled for violent behavior. Noah turns the table around, insults, and demeans the vice principal, which forces her to expel him. A few weeks later, Kevin takes Allie to the fall dance. Claire chaperones the dance and is told by one of the students that there's a problem in the boys' bathroom. Claire goes to check it out and is mortified to see that Noah has written on the walls of the bathroom, in big fonts, that he slept with her. Mortified, Claire proceeds to leave, but is blocked by Noah, who tries to overpower and rape her. She manages to escape his grip, and as she proceeds to leave, he threatens to tell everyone about their affair. Claire is not bothered by the threats and taunts him by saying that no one will ever take his words over hers. The next day, Claire gets to her class, and as she enters it, she's terrified to see many pictures of her and Noah from the night of the affair posted all over the class. She apologizes to her students and makes them wait outside as she locks the door and tries to clean it all up. The principal sees students waiting outside for a while and intervenes by asking Sumer to open the door. When she fails to do so immediately, he starts to unlock it himself. Fortunately, Claire manages to clean all the pictures up just in time before the door is open. The principal is confused by the ordeal and gives her a warning. Later that day, hoping to mend his relationship with his son, Gareth comes to pick Kevin up from school and allows him to drive his car. While Kevin drives the car, he emotionally accuses his father of causing his mother pain and tearing the family apart. After driving for a bit, the car's brake is unresponsive, which leads the car to get out of control. Gareth and Kevin panic and do everything they can to control it. Meanwhile, Claire returns home after grocery shopping and finds Gareth, Kevin, and Noah hanging out and watching TV. Noah excuses himself to follow Claire into the kitchen, where he threatens to show the pictures and video to Gareth and Kevin unless she comes to see him that night. Having no choice, Claire goes to Noah's place, where Noah tries to force himself on her, but Claire manages to escape. Desperate for solutions, Claire tells Vicky about what's going on. Vicky promises to help her, and they come up with a plan. The next day, after school, Vicky takes Claire's car and drives it to Claire's house, knowing that Noah will be following it, while Claire discreetly breaks into Noah's place, hoping to find the video and destroy it. After driving some distance, Noah is furious to see that Vicky is at the wheel of Claire's car. Vicky calls Claire and warns her to leave as soon as possible as Noah's onto them. In Noah's house, Claire finds a video camera hidden in the salon and removes it. Then she sees a creepy small room filled with her pictures. Shocked by this, she goes to Noah's computer to delete the original file and sees multiple suspicious drawings of car engines. She finishes deleting the file and hurriedly gets away. Noah sneaks into Vicky's house and demands to know why she tricked him earlier. He then brutally ties her up to a chair in the salon. Claire calls Vicky's phone. Noah picks up and tricks Claire into believing she's talking to her best friend. And so Claire inadvertently tells Noah that after going through the police report, she believes that Noah had killed his parents and that he may have been the one that messed with Gareth's car. Noah takes it all in and convinces Claire to come to Vicky's house using a recorded voice of Vicky. Noah then calls Kevin and asks him to come to Vicky's barn with Gareth. Claire gets to Vicky's house and is horrified to learn that her best friend has been brutally murdered. Before she can process this, Noah drags Claire to Vicky's barn where he has both Gareth and Kevin tied up. Claire is desperate to save her family, and so she discreetly takes Kevin's allergy pen and stabs Noah with it. Noah is temporarily incapacitated, and she uses this opportunity to help untie Kevin. Noah gets up and starts setting fire to the barn, admitting that he was in fact behind his parents' car accident, and that he caused it as a result of his father's cheating. As Gareth tries to untie himself, Noah shoots him. Claire attacks Noah from behind and kills him. Kevin and Claire carry the injured Gareth out of the burning building. The Petersons drive off in an ambulance to the hospital, while Claire tells Gareth he's going to be okay. And with that, the movie ends. We hope you enjoyed our video. Watch the next recaps on the screen, and don't forget to subscribe for more amazing recaps. See you in the next one.